Ding ding. Hey everybody, welcome to Midwest Paratalk Radio. I'm the G-Man, that is Deb, on another Thursday night, kicking it live with our little Merry Christmas banner in the background and Frosty the Snowman with his pointed nose. Don't get no ideas. But welcome back to the show. We are on Podomatic, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and all that, so you guys can go out there when you're at work listening to or wanting something to listen to. Pull us up. We'll make you giggle at work. Hey, you're going to hear my dogs in the background because they're a bunch of little
yahoos.
Yeah. And they're barking at the kitty running around. So you're going to hear that every once in a while. So I apologize for that. But welcome to the show.
Howdy ho. I just realized I had two sets of glasses on. I had my glasses on here. I had these up here. I'm like, how old am I?
Wow. You'll mess around and be like, I cannot find my damn glasses.
I have been
like,
known to say, where's my phone? And it's in my hand.
No, that's just an onset of dementia, I think. I don't know.
Shut up.
Don't hate me because I'm beautiful. Remember, if you guys want any apparel or anything, you can go over order at G-Monkey Apparel, and you can donate to the cause up here with the little QR codes. And yeah, so that's the plugs for now. What happened?
Cat is chewing on the light.
He's gonna fry his damn self. Yep, there it went.
What happened?
No, stop that.
Fucking cat.
What happened?
The cat's chewing on the line to the light.
Uh-oh.
Because he's stupid. Let me pull our feed up here. Let me pull up the chat too. Where's the chat? There it is.
Say who? What's happening?
I pulled up the chat so I can see if anybody comes in and wants to chitty bang bang with us.
See, your light went back on. Cat's
yeah.
Dead. Cat's not dead yet.
My producer's on top of it.
Hey, thanks, D. Lord, if you hear a little ticking in the background, it's my Geiger counter. I can hear it ticking. I'm like, what's happening?
Oh, we're live. I was bringing up the YouTube feed too. So, yeah, anyway.
Hey, happy holidays.
Yeah. Are you ready for Christmas? I'm not ready for Christmas.
Nah. I'm not feeling Christmassy.
Right?
It wouldn't. I don't know. It's just not that year.
Yeah, it's been a rough year.
It's been a rough year. So
2025 is right around the corner. We're gonna make that bitch live. Wait, what?
What was that?
I don't know. Oh, real quick too. Hey, you guys, listen up. Starting on Saturday, Billy. Oh, there's the dog. Shut up. Billy from Boonville, Indiana Paranormal Society and I are going to start a podcast. We're going to do it live on YouTube and Facebook Live in the group. So if you're not in the group, go over, look for Boonville, Indiana Paranormal Society. We're going to stream that live to the NPR site too. I just need to get the documents and stuff for that to be able to go live. Or the information.
What day is it going to be?
Saturday.
Okay, I'll have to be lurking there and stalk you guys.
Stalker. I might even hit you up and bring you on the show, and never know.
Hey,
but it's going to be a lot like NPR. It's just going to be us talking mostly ghostly things, equipment and theory and all that good jazz. Also, if you're a nerd like I am, I'm going to plug Star Wars Theory because he's a cool cat. I like watching his videos, so look him up on YouTube as well. So, you got anybody you want to plug on YouTube? It's not the end of the show. I'm just, talking.
No, not anybody that anybody would want to watch. I watch weird stuff on the show on YouTube.
I watch chiropractors.
I watched a lady who lives in China, who's from Uganda, who lives in the country in China, and she videos her daily life. I've been watching her for the longest time. And I watch some podcasters who gossip about reality TV, like Sister Wives and 90 Day Fiance, just junk crap.
Right.
There's this one guy. What's his name? I'm gonna have to look. I'm gonna have to look it up because I'm old and I can't remember anymore. Um, where is he at? Philip DeFranco.
I've heard of him.
Huh? I like
I've heard
him.
of him.
I watch his podcasts. My son
Yeah.
started me watching him. He does like a daily roundup of the latest news stuff. You know, I used to watch Mr. Beast sometimes. It gets on my nerves. Um, and Rose and Anzi, that's the name of the people who, the lady in China that I watch. And of course, I check out Earth Files and this dude named Hawk, who is he's a lawyer out in California. He's kind of funny. But
Hawk.
nothing. I don't watch anything paranormal.
Really?
No. Once in a while. I mean, people will send me, a podcast of somebody that I know who's a guest of somebody I know or whatever, and I watch that. But
Yeah.
I just
I
recently
watch
watched a podcast that Daz Smith had, and it was like a group Zoom, and it was going over a remote viewing
Yeah.
thing that they did, and it was fantastic. It was like almost 2 hours long.
Really?
But Richard Dolan was one of the guests, and I know Richard. I love Richard and his wife Tracy to death, and he was one of the guests on there, and it was really interesting. Richard Dolan is one of the heavy hitters in ufology, the historian dude, or the guy who knows everything about governments and shit like that.
He ain't
Stuff
no
like
weird haired dude like that one cat. What's his name?
George Tsoukalos. That dude's hair
Yeah.
needs his own show, man.
Zip code.
I like him though. I would love to meet him someday because
Yeah.
I don't know, he's kind of cool. He sure has had a life, man.
Yeah. I found myself watching paranormal videos that are just like
I do because I send them to you.
right. No kid, man. Deb sent me like 7 videos in like 8 minutes. I'm like, damn.
I'm that friend that you cuss out after 5 minutes because you're like, damn, do you ever do anything but look at videos?
Right. Well, I mean, come on, that's what you do.
I like to
but
hone my
to watch-
skills.
Yeah. Well, I like to watch it and call bullshit on
That's what I
some of the
mean.
videos. You know what I mean? It's like
Figuring out, yeah, come on now, that's some shit.
that's not how that works.
But every
That's
now and
not
then
how
I
it
run
works.
into a good one that's like, oh boy.
Right.
That
See,
one's cool.
I like to watch them, and then they're saying that this is a full body apparition or it's a full body shadow. Shush. And it's not. It's your shadow from an IR camera, and you're standing in front of it taking a picture or something stupid like that.
Oh, totally. You can tell. You can for sure see some people are real lame at that. It's like, come on,
Right?
really? You didn't even try.
And I'm watching Zach and Cody as well. Not Zach and Cody. Who are they? Cody and I can't remember the dude's name now. Anyway, they're kids basically, and they're doing a bunch of paranormal stuff, and they're having a tit for tat, bitching at each other. And I'm like, dude, I'm not watching anymore until you get past this. But they've gone to some interesting places. They did the Conjuring House with Cody and Satori, and that's Satori is Jason Hawes's daughter.
Okay.
And they got called out for faking evidence.
That's not good.
Right.
You should not do that shit.
Well, I mean, they're saying that he's popping his ankle and she was going along with it, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not there while they're doing it, and I can't objectively say one way or the other that it is or it isn't. I would have to be there and actually see it for myself. But there's supporters out there saying they're not doing that and they're legit, and that's fine. I mean, we'll post that up from a comment in the section.
That's good to know.
But yeah, and I don't know, just some of it is off the wall. And then they went to Zach Gaggins' haunted museum that he has, that he's 100% manipulating people into paying money for and this, that, and the other. But I mean, anyway, it's just stupid little videos like that I like to watch. There's the Villisca Axe Murder House actually is posting up videos and stuff from Iowa, and those have been pretty interesting. It's just walkthroughs of the house and talking about particular rooms and whatnot. So you might want to look those up too.
I used to watch the Willard Library had a
Yes.
24-hour webcam back in
Yeah.
the day. I assume they still do.
They still do.
I used to like to sit and watch that, and I would watch that for hours. David come up and be like, "What are you doing?" And I'd tell him, he's like, "Good Jesus Christ." I'd sit there for 3 hours and look at a bookshelf,
Just watch it.
you know. And I was trying to see.
They've had that up there forever, and Taps has been there amongst other places, and none of them have really found anything substantial while they're there. And they won't let private investigations happen on that location either. So if you want to go in, it's got to be a public venue, and you've got to pay like $35 a head. And I'm like, I'm not.
I used to watch Earth Cam a lot too.
Oh yeah,
because they have a lot of outdoor cameras. You know, well, there are some that were fun. Like I used to look at Times Square on New Year's Eve, and I'd go to New Orleans, and you know, the Cat's Meow has a karaoke stage, and they've got a webcam. I used to laugh at the people doing, but they also have a lot of beach cams all around the country, and there's and some different countries also. Yeah. And you can see the sky. And I would peep on that occasionally just to see if I could see anything crazy. Yeah. Because you just never know. I have a friend who's a friend of me on Facebook. He lives out in South Carolina or North Carolina. I can't remember which, wherever they've been having all the drone sightings. And
Jersey.
But also that whole coast really.
Right, yeah.
He had a link. He shared a link on our Facebook of this beach cam, and I think it was in New Jersey where the beach cam was, and you could see drones in the beach cam, and
really,
it was a live beach cam, and he put the link up there. And he's like, "Check this out, you guys!" And I tried to click on it. And at first it said it was busy to come back later. And then I clicked on it again and it said the link was broke and no longer available. And I'm like, well, damn.
Really?
Yeah, man. And like somebody, and I've tried it since then and it's still gone. So that sucked because I wanted to see if I could peep a drone or two. You know, I've been outside a few times. We were, I don't know if probably wasn't you I was talking to. Just when I was talking to my friend Brian a little while ago, we were talking about it. He's in Arizona and he was outside while he was talking to me on the phone, and he saw this really bright light just appear in the sky from nowhere and then disappear.
Yeah.
It was super bright. And then a little while later in our conversation, he's like, I'm getting a little creeped out. I'm outside here and I just seen within a matter of a few moments bright blue flash that kind of filled up the horizon, you know, and it freaked him out. And I wanted to tell him, I haven't seen anything here. We live about 18 miles from Grissom Air Force Base where I live. So you'd think if there was some weird drone stuff or anything weird going on, you'd see it because we usually do here. I'm close to the MOA, the Hilltop MOA, where they exercise and practice and stuff. But haven't seen anything, although the weather's really been crappy. It's been overcast or raining or cold or snowing or all of the above for a week now. And we haven't been able to see the sky worth a damn. But I have laid in my bed. Okay, my bed, the head of my bed is basically my bedroom window. That's how it's set up. I don't have a headboard. My window is my headboard, which may creep some people out, but I kind of like it, especially in the summer, you know. But like the last week or so, I have been laying in bed like 1 or 2 in the morning, and I hear an aircraft go over my house. but it's not like any aircraft I've ever heard. It doesn't sound like a helicopter. It doesn't sound like an airplane. It's quite loud. Seems to me like it's kind of low. And I first thought in my mind, well, could it be that because it's overcast and there's a heavy cloud layer, could it be sound ricocheting off of the highway? Because I've heard that before as well. When I was outside with the dogs, I could hear, if there's a lot heavy cloud cover, I can hear the sound coming from the highway of certain truck tires that are loud and whiny. You know what I mean? You've heard it before.
Oh yeah.
But then I'm like, no, man, it doesn't sound like anything like that. And I'm like, is it medevac? Because it sounds kind of like a cross between a jet and a prop. It's hard to describe. Twice I've heard that shit over my house in the middle of the night, which where I live, air traffic, unless they're doing something crazy at Grissom, that's very rare to hear something like that, Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I told my buddy in the course of talking about this, I don't know why, but the whole drone thing, even though I think that my attitude with drones is, hi, kitty, kitty, kitty. Or my attitude has always been about lights in the sky to begin with. I'm an experiencer. I've seen all kinds of weird stuff, right? But my attitude has always been like, if it's lights on it, it's probably ours or somebody else human somewhere, because why do aliens need lights?
Yeah.
They don't need lights, and why would they want them? Why would they want to attract attention to themselves if they're doing something, on the slide?
Sketchy, right?
Yeah, and the only reason I could think of that they would use lights would be to intimidate or scare someone. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that sounds like that would be an explanation. But the thing is, why is it over my house, really low over my house at like 2 a.m? I don't get that part,
Right.
It's definitely like something I don't normally hear, but thanks for that. But anyway, like I said, I feel like if they got lights on them, their chances are they're ours, right? And I've seen, and I also feel like there's some misidentification going on because people are looking up now that never looked up before, and maybe don't realize what they're seeing and what is actually up there that we've been looking up and seeing for years. So we already know what it is because we've already researched it. I know one thing that this whole drone thing is doing is it's going to create a whole lot more UFO believers, because even people that are seeing stuff and they think it's UFOs, you know what I mean?
Right.
But the thing is, I think it's a combination of stuff. I think it's ours mostly. And I think there may be some NHI, some non-human intelligence shenanigans going on, right?
Right.
And also, I think there's a bunch of assholes out there who got drones and they think they're going to go out and have some fun now because drones, so they want their 10 minutes of fame. Oh, they want to see if they can get their drone on TikTok, somebody else video it. You know what I mean? Because people, that's what they do.
Yeah. Right.
But two things about it bother me. One, it's just not here in the United States. It's worldwide.
Yeah.
It's in many different countries now, and it's the same shit. And two, I cannot explain it, but something about it creeps me out. And I'm not afraid of aliens. I'm more afraid of people, to be honest, than I am of aliens, or the thought of aliens doesn't bother me. I've lived with it for 50 years. I've lived with it. There's no ontological shock for me. I'm past that. So I'm not afraid of that. But yet this is weird. And it's going to sound weird to y'all. I was sitting in my living room the other night by myself. Old man was already in bed at like 7. So I was sitting in the living room and I had the blinds drawn and I was watching TV. And I thought I heard that sound that I just described to you a little while ago, but not like right over the house. Mm-hmm. I got and I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it again. I got goosebumps. All of a sudden, I got this overwhelming sensation that there was something right outside of my window, like like a drone, right outside of the window that I couldn't see it because my shades were drawn. I have wooden slat shades, and I couldn't see it, but I felt like something was right there on the other side of the window, and I could sense it, and it felt so freaking weird. And it didn't last very long. That sensation, maybe a minute, and then whatever it was went away. And it's like, it was the weirdest shit, and I don't get that way, so I don't understand. I don't know why that even happened, because
Right.
But so I think there's something going on, and you've heard the theories. There's all kinds of theories being tossed out there. Project, what is that? Blue
Book?
Not Project Blue Book. It's Blue something. It's God, I suck as it's a false flag event, and Bluebeam, Project Bluebeam. That people have talked about for years, where the government creates some false flag event in order to distract you from something else that's going on that's much bigger.
Right.
Could be that lost. So I've read that they lost some nuclear material and the drones are out looking for it. Right. I've read that the drones are a part of an automatic security system around these military sites and other important sites. Yes, thank you, Project Bluebeam. And then so they automatically are deployed when something breaks this, this perimeter, this perimeter that you can't, this invisible perimeter. When something breaks it, they are automatically deployed, and that's what is going on. That the orbs are plasma beings. They're like either NHI craft, or they're actually NHI. They're actually a sentient being, out there floating around. I mean, there's a million different theories out there. So I'm at the point now where I'm just pop some popcorn, sit on my couch with my blinds drawn, and watch what happens, because who the frick knows?
Right. Well,
all I said, if it's aliens and them some bitches leave without taking me, I'm gonna be pissed.
They ain't taking you. They're like, nope.
I'll be mad if they leave me here. These people,
we done already dealt with her. She's batshit crazy. It's not going to happen.
I know.
I was watching that, and you have to take the YouTube thing with a grain of salt, because there's a lot of people talking a lot of shit.
I take a lot of you have to be smart.
Right. There was an officer in Jersey that was out on a call about a drone, and supposedly reported to dispatch like 50 drones actually coming out of the ocean.
I saw that.
Right. And the interview was like 50, and the guy was like, yeah, 50, like, dumbass, I said 50. But she reported it to dispatch. Dispatch reported it to the military and the FBI. I mean, there's definitely something going on. I think a lot of it, though, is, and I don't know, it's speculation on my point as well, is that it's 100% our guys. And they're definitely looking for something. So, I mean, I don't know necessarily that the military would be so irresponsible that they would lose a nuke. But
I can't see that.
There's something going on.
Do you remember when that yeah, they did give me back. Do you remember when that it was in New Palestine, Ohio, when that train with the hazmat caught on fire and crashed or whatever? I heard, now correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't I hear or read somewhere that some nuclear material from that or something to do with that went missing?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't remember hearing about it. If you guys didn't know anything about that,
Google it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But oh wait, we got something. Hold on. Here we go. If the military didn't lose nukes, they wouldn't have been named called Broken Arrow. Yeah, right.
That's true.
I don't know, man.
And
I have
then
a hard time thinking. I mean, and you know me. I mean,
yeah,
I believe in aliens. You know, I do. I believe that there's definitely something hanky going on, but I don't think it's aliens this time. I think it's, if it's not us, it's definitely, and it's not Iran because they're morons. I'm sorry. I mean, let me digress. I don't mean to
hey,
offend
that one
anybody.
Chinese
But,
guy got arrested for having a
right.
drone.
If anybody, I would suspect them.
Mm-hmm. Well, weren't they behind the weather balloons this past
Yes.
summer?
Yes. 100%.
So,
But you know, another thing too is that the military is acting stupid about it. But the thing is, they have technology where they can detect drones in the air, and if they're over no-fly zones,
yeah. Why
I
aren't
mean,
they,
military institutions. You're telling me that if they were worried about it, they wouldn't be up. You know, they wouldn't scramble jets, and then there would be no more drone.
they scrambled jets over freaking wet balloons. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
So
why
and
wouldn't
they're not
they?
doing it now.
I
Come
don't
on.
understand that. Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me. Why they wouldn't scramble
Right.
jets to these things? Like I said, though, I think there's a non-human intelligence factor in this somehow, but I don't think they're doing it. My gut feeling is they're watching.
Yeah.
They're watching what's going on because them
Yeah.
crazy ass humans is up to some no good. You know,
Right.
I mean, I just feel like there's somewhere there's an NHI. So see, yes, I read the same thing. I saw that that's why I'm like, this is worldwide. This isn't just the United States. And so it can't be the United States government all over the place, you know.
Right. 100%.
And I also read somewhere that when you're using drones, I mean, they have to be they're not hobbyist drones because they're limited. So some of these drones can stay stationary in the same place for 10 or 12 hours. Hobby drones can't do that. And if they can only be so far away from the radio transmitter, the signal, they have to be, if they get farther away, then there has to be a relay system, you know, like the ham radio used to have the radio relay, you know. Otherwise, they don't get the signal from their handhelds. They drop out of the sky, you know. They're limited.
Yeah.
And if you had a drone the size of a bus that could travel past the curvature of the earth, you know what I mean, like 10, 12 miles out away from its signals and hang in the same place for 10 or 12 hours, you can't afford it. Trust me, the average drone hobbyist probably can't afford that.
Right.
You know,
and didn't I hear something? I think it was today, actually, that I heard that drones are built in with like RF transmitters when they're over a certain, or I guess, particular size, or I'll have to do a little bit of research on it, honestly. But they put off an RF transmission where they can be read by radar, they can be read by technology that we possess
right
now. And they're telling us, you know, oh, well, we're not getting any readings off
they
of
can't
it. I'm
see
not
them on
sure.
radar. Yeah, what's up with that?
Liar. Liar, pants on fire.
Yeah,
Next.
I don't know.
Yeah. Get the hell out of here with that.
I got a frog in my throat. I'm gonna have to mute myself here. But
No lung hacking.
It's just something crazy going on. Something crazy is going on with all this, and
definitely.
And of course, then, you know, I've heard all kinds of different theories about, you know, what some certain dates things might happen, and it's like, you know, I'm 65 years old. I've been hearing about the end of the world now for about 50 of them 65 years, and it ain't happened yet. So
right, we've had what, 15 doomsdays since the 70s.
I mean, like we were talking about last week. Remember Y2K? And everything was going to stop, and look how that turned out. So
yeah. Well, I mean, you never
know. But did you see all the videos? I've seen several videos now of, speaking of the EMF field, I've seen several videos of whole parking lots full of cars, and all of their lights are flashing. All of the street lights are flashing crazy when these drones are near. That's bizarre.
That's
That's
just
like Close Encounters of the Third Kind shit right there. Like when Roy's truck pulls up to the railroad tracks.
Yeah.
When I saw those videos, I'm like, damn.
Now that you mention that, that's a flash mob. Everybody's in their cars, hitting their lights and their horns and all that.
No, man. The lights in the parking lot and the lights on the buildings around the parking lot are doing it too. That's bizarre.
That is bizarre. I saw a video yesterday, where they were playing the Close Encounters of the Third Kind song. It was in front of a military base, which made it even more funny.
What?
But yeah, I'll find that video and I'll shoot it over to you so you can look at it. It was kind of funny, but it's like I don't know, man. Could it be? I don't know. Possibly.
I don't know what to think. I mean, I'm squarely in ufology, and I squarely believe in non-human intelligence. Now,
right?
I've never, do they get in crafts and fly here? Yes, but not maybe the way we think they do. I think they manipulate space and time or something in order to get where they, or something. But I think we'd be fools to think we're all there is. And look, I mean, good God, look at space. Look what's out there.
Yeah. I mean,
we can't be the best there is. There's no way.
We can't. But I'm saying that as well. You wonder sometimes. It's like, okay, is there one planet designated per galaxy that is suitable?
We're probably the prison planet.
We're probably some kind of petri dish in somebody's lab.
We're the Australia of the universe. Remember, Australia, the country was originally was where people went when they were bad.
Right. What do we got here? Space folding means crossing shorter distances. Yeah, exactly. And they are actually working on warp technology, because that's what warp is, how it is explained in Star Trek. Which, I mean, if you think back, a lot of the devices that we have in modern times right now have been carbon copied off of some of the devices that we have in Star Trek. The communicator, cell phones, even
the doors, when the doors slide open,
right?
They didn't have those kind of doors back when Star Trek was made.
Right.
And now you walk through one every time you go to Walmart.
Exactly. So
the science fiction of yesterday becomes the science fact of tomorrow.
Right. Because all these nerds are in their mom and dad's garages right now trying to create shit just like that.
I want to know where my flying car is. I watched the Jetsons when I was kids, and I assumed that by the time I was my age, I'd have a flying car.
Bro, I don't want none of these guys around here.
Huh?
I've seen how these people drive around here. There's no way in hell I want any of them to have flying cars.
I should have a flying car.
I've seen you drive too, damn it. You don't need no flying car.
You going with me to Kentucky?
No,
My daughter-in-law the other day, she's like, Mom, let Robbie drive you to Cincinnati in July. And I said, no, I'm good. And she's like, no, you're not.
Robbie should drive you to Cincinnati.
She said he had to take me to Indy, to IU for that test. Oh, me too, Mr. Cable. Yeah. I want one of those.
Me too. I'm all about that.
But she's like, Mom, Cincinnati is just like downtown Indy.
It's worse.
Like, oh shit.
It's worse than downtown Indy. You don't need to be driving up there, man.
Mm-hmm.
I really would like to come out and see you there. Didn't you say you were going someplace down south? Wasn't it Nashville?
I might go. I might afterwards drive down to Nashville and see my friend Katie for a few days after that. I don't know. I'm just going to have to play it by ear and see how things are going at that point. I don't know what's up. All I know is for sure I'm going down there on Thursday and coming home on Sunday, or going somewhere.
You should take a couple extra days and you should come and visit us.
I can take as many days as I want. I'm retired. I just got to get there.
There you go. But you would come down. Well, you'd probably come down 65 though, wouldn't you?
I'll be coming. What did I think I go down 74.
I don't know. I'd have to Google map that.
it. I have to do the Google.
Because Nashville's only like an hour and 45 south of us.
Yeah. Oh, that's
So
not
it's
bad.
not that far away. And they have Bojangles down from in like on the way, so it's
What's
better
that?
than Chick-fil-A. It's a chicken joint.
Oh,
We got hip to it when we were down in Augusta.
nice.
And yeah, it's way better than Chick-fil-A. And they have these little sandwiches. I'm off topic 100%. They have these little chicken breakfast sandwiches with cheese. And it's kind of spicy. They were the bee's knees.
Oh, Jesus. Well, I'll have to check it out. I've never been to a Buc-ee's either. Is that how you say it?
I want to do Buc-ee's too. Yeah.
I've heard some people say Boosie's. Is that the bougie Buc-ee's?
Yeah, that must be. But I definitely want to hit up a Buc-ee's too. But I mean, they have everything there. It's like a damn Walmart with food and gas.
That's nice.
Check that out. Yeah.
Well, so I'm excited about that, and it's going to be, I think it's kind of a big deal that MUFON has invited an experiencer to speak. So,
and you would be wrong, Kim.
I'm proud. I'm honored that I was asked. So I hope I don't suck. But I do want to talk.
You never do, man. Your stories are top notch. Come on.
I want to tell you, but I'm not very polished. I got to get my ducks in a row.
Screw that. If you try to polish yourself, it's not you. You know what I mean?
I am not polished. That is a fact.
I mean, 2 peas in a pod here, for the love of God.
That's why we do this thing together here, because we're both crazy.
Off our rockers.
Anyway, though, I do want to tell everyone also something I'm very excited about.
Yes.
We've talked about disclosure and what's been happening with the government and the congressional hearings. We've talked about those in the past. There's a couple of them, and if you haven't seen them, I watched them as they happened on C-SPAN, but I think you can probably find them on YouTube. They are fascinating. I never thought in my entire life that I would ever live to see the day when they talked about UFOs, which of course they can't call UFOs anymore. They call them UAPs and NHI, non-human intelligence. But to see and hear them talk about that in Congress and not have everybody snicker and giggle and laugh and have them asking legitimate, serious questions almost made me want to cry, because I never thought I would ever see the day that would happen. Whether anything even came of it or not, to see it actually happening took my breath away. I never thought it would.
Yeah.
And so, but the one thing that I noticed during both hearings is that, they had pilots that testified, the whistleblowers, all that. They didn't have any experiencers or witnesses, as you would call, like us.
I don't think they're at that level yet, though.
They're not. But this docuseries that I participated in filming last year is about to come out. It's gonna premiere on January the 9th, and it's on the National Geographic Channel. You'll also be able to see it through Hulu and Disney Plus. It's called UFOs Investigating the Unknown. You can catch the whole first season still on any of these places, or you can get it on demand on your Xfinity, and it was good. It was serious. It was a serious look at the Tic Tacs, the story that broke in 2017 with the military videos coming out and everything, and a lot of the stuff they talked about in the hearings, right?
Right.
The same folks on this second season have added the experiencer part of it, which is an important piece of the puzzle. Because like I was saying to somebody earlier today, you know, if UFOs aren't just lights in the sky, I'm sorry, they're not just lights in the sky. If you're going to be a legitimate research organization, whoever you might be, you have to take all of it in. Those lights in the sky, if they're not us, there's somebody else, there's something else, and there's somebody piloting them, and there are witnesses to those things. And you wouldn't even know they existed if it wasn't for the witnesses,
right?
Telling you, you know what I mean? And then the people like me who've seen even more than just lights in the sky, but actual craft and occupants, right?
Mm-hmm.
This second season is going to include people like me and me. I'm a part of it. I might be in a couple of episodes. I'm not sure. Maybe one. I know I'm in one. I'm in the trailer, actually.
Right.
I made it to the trailer. So, but they're talking to people that have had the kind of experiences I've had. And the people that were there that I had the opportunity to meet and talk to were some of the most intelligent and well-spoken and articulate people I've ever met in my life. And they tell their stories beautifully. And they're the real deal. And they're going to be presented on this docuseries in one or two of the 5 or 6 episodes that are going to be on this. And I'm proud and honored that I was asked to be a part of it. I'm going to be talking about my case of June 30, 83, as well as Bud Hopkins, the man who investigated it and wrote the book about it. I'm also going to be participating in some group sessions on there with the John Mack Institute. John Mack was a Harvard psychiatrist who started to work on the experiencer experience. He and Bud were pioneers in this whole thing. And so Bud will be represented there by me. The John Mack will be represented there by the Jimmy, the psychiatrists that volunteer and work for the John Mack Institute. And I'm so excited because they're bringing the experiencer into the narrative, to the disclosure narrative. Right. And they're doing it in a respectful and intelligent way. And I feel very good about it. I'm excited about it. I'm hopeful that it's going to help a lot of people out there like us to feel more comfortable. I hope it's going to help alleviate some of the stigma involved with reporting your experiences, because right now there's still stigma. It's nothing like it was when I was first out in public 40 some years ago. Not at all, but It's still there. And especially for people in the military and police officers and people like that, pilots who have been threatened to lose their jobs, their pensions, their livelihood, if they speak out. And that's finally starting to get better, and people are starting to talk. And I'm hopeful that this will help continue that on and aid in that. So I'm really excited about that. I want everybody to watch it. It's called UFOs Investigating the Unknown. It's going to be airing January the 8th on National Geographic TV. Also be available on Hulu and Disney Plus the next day. And I think it's really going to be worth your time to watch. And there's also another one coming out. Let me get that information because I want to make sure I want to make sure I say that right too. It's going to be another documentary that explores the experience, and I think it'll be done in a very, very good way. And it's called Cosmosis, UFOs and a New Reality. And it's coming on December 30th. So I can't remember which. I want to mute this. Hopefully I won't blast anything. Okay, good. Where is this coming from? Oh. Okay, yeah, that didn't work. Why is it when you put your phone on mute, but then you open up YouTube, it still just goes blah?
I think that might be a PEBCAC issue.
What's that?
Problem existing between the keyboard and the chair.
Oh, my glasses are
Wow.
slipping. Hold on.
Yeah. Heard that.
Anyway, look that one up. Google that one up because I think that's really going to be a good one too. I watched a trailer to it and it seemed very fascinating. Oh, thank you, Kim. That's awesome. Yes, and life is a lot more than what meets the eye. People, and let me tell you something else. Once you realize that, there's no going back. You're not putting that toothpaste back in the tube. Once
Right.
you realize what is, how much of what's going on around you, there's no going back. You're there, and your mind just continues to expand from that point on. Life has a way of putting blinders on us. Daily life isolates us from the world around us in so many ways because our focus is on paying bills, going to work, taking care of this person, doing this, doing that. And you don't notice what's going on around you or above you. That's why I said this whole drone thing is going to make a whole lot more believers, because people are going to start looking up now a lot more than they used to. And even when the drones stop happening and they're still looking up, they're going to see something. Because you can't not. It's all over the place, for God's sake. I've seen weird shit in the sky for 40 years. All you got to do is look up, and if you look up enough times, you're going to see something, guaranteed. So,
it's the blue pill, red pill effect. Once you open that Pandora's box, you can't close it again. I mean, once you start noticing things and experiencing different things, it's you can't ignore it. I mean,
you start getting stuff happen once you start hanging around me.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Sorry.
I've seen, honestly, I never paid attention before I met you, but it seems like I'll send you a random picture here and there. Look at this. What the hell is this?
Mm-hmm.
So the thing that got me, and it happened here recently, was that thing back in the east over the field back behind us, that it was disc shaped, and I don't know, it was odd. And then that silver ball shooting out of the sky after I left the paranormal meeting that we were having, and it came straight out of the sky, went right into the tree line. And of course, I never saw it again, but I mean, it was weird. But I hadn't started, and you're exactly right, I hadn't started paying attention to any of that before I met you, and we started talking about this and investigating together, and it was just really, really weird. So now I catch myself, I guess the point of the story is I catch myself taking the dogs out and looking in the horizon and see if I see anything in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
In which, I mean, where we're at right now too, I can occasionally see Starlink fly overhead, or I can, every once in a while see a satellite or whatever in the sky. But the other things, they're too low and too different than anything that should be considered normal. Normal. What's that?
Yeah. Who's to say what's normal?
Right. Can you,
sorry.
Can you talk about that other thing that you have going on?
The podcast?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. AJ, during the course of working on that docuseries I'm going to, be on it here in January, I got to talking with one of the producer gals and found out that she was interested in paranormal stuff like I am. And I always have a few of my favorite EVPs on my phone because I want to show anybody who will listen, right? So I whipped my phone out and I started playing our EVPs I play the High Ginger one, I play the Gurgles one, I play the Pickles one, I play the Hi Everybody one from the walkie at that one thing. I played a bunch of them. And she was flipping out. At one point, she looked at her cameraman, who also is an experiencer and who knew Bud for years and years. She said, I think I know what my next project's going to be. And I said, can I be involved? And she's like, you're it. But anyway,
Right.
She said, I have a friend who really, really is into this whole thing, and she would absolutely love to hear these. Can I share them with her? And I'm like, sure, I don't care. And then she told me who her friend was. Her friend is Rachel Dratch from SNL. I guess she's had a podcast for years with her friend Irene. It's called Woo Woo with Rachel or something like that. Isn't that right?
Yep.
Anyway, and I went and listened to some of their podcasts later, and they're really funny. You should go check them out. They interview famous people who've had paranormal experiences, and they get famous people to come on their show and tell about their ghost, experience or their UFO experience or whatever. And she kind of laughed and she said she might want you on her show. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. I'll do it. So anyway, several months, this was in August. And then just like a week or so ago, I get an email from her, and there's a message for me from Rachel on there, and asking me to be a guest on their podcast, that they'd heard my EVPs and they were really excited and wanted to talk to me. I'm like, yeah. So she told me that she would get back with me in January and we'd set up a date. It's only an hour long and it's audio, so they'll see me, but nobody else will. And
Right.
I'm excited about it because they're very similar to you and I, how they just talk about stuff, and they have, guests on and tell their story, and they kind of, cracking jokes and get funny. But I mean, we're just naturally that way, and I really feel like it's going to be kind of fun. I'm excited. I'm trying to decide which EVPs I'm going to let them play on the air and show, and I've got a million.
Definitely got to go with Gurgles.
We're definitely going with the Gurgles, and I'm gonna go with the bathroom stories from the roads, because I mean that's just too funny. I mean, we had bathroom stories from what's the place that they're tearing down? Bobby Mackey's.
Yeah.
I got bathroom stories from Bobby Mackey's, that are kind of creepy but funny in a way. And what is with ghosts in bathrooms?
Part of that place, right? Yeah.
I know. That last video I just showed you the other day, where they've like practically the place is scraped now, and there's just a hole where that well was. I'm like, I don't know what they planning on building there, but whatever they're going to build, they're going to be haunted as hell.
Right. Well, we had that conversation this week as well, because what was it? Central State on Washington Street in Indianapolis. They tore down some of that, and I guess we're building condos on the property. And I'm like, let's give it a year or so. We'll go down there with cards, or go up there with cards and be like, hey, you have any paranormal experiences? We'll come and investigate, because those places are going to be straight up haunted.
I'm gonna tell you.
Says.
And my boy's grandmother on my first husband's, my first husband, her boyfriend was a security guard there at Central State for many, many years, or back in the 60s and 70s, right?
Yeah.
And he said that it was haunted while it was still in operation.
Oh, yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, I believe he told me there was a pauper's graveyard there for people that lived there who passed away, who had no one to claim their bodies.
Yes.
And I'm wondering, did they really move them? You know what I mean? They sometimes they say they move them and they don't. And these are folks that nobody claimed.
Shady shit. Yeah.
Yeah. That place, I wouldn't live in one of those apartments if you gave it.
Hell no.
Hell no. Nope. And I'm not scared of ghosts. I'm not. I just don't want to be bothered with this shit every single day, all day long. Some of the videos I've seen, obviously some of the videos I see on TikTok are staged, but there's a few on there. I mean, you can tell by the way these people react. That ain't nobody that good an actor. I'm sorry. Especially when you're in your underwear eating ice cream at 2 a.m. in front of the TV. You know what I'm saying? But Yeah, I'm gonna miss
I've never
TikTok
eaten
if
ice
it goes
cream in my
away.
drawers in front of the TV. So
Well, then there's something wrong with you.
I mean, I never
There's something
claimed to
wrong with
know.
you, son.
Right, right.
Oh well. Anyways, yeah. So I got some exciting things coming up in the near future.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that, and of course, when I get a date for Rachel Dretch's podcast, I will most definitely have it up on my Facebook
Do they?
and on Midwest Pear Talk and
Yeah.
Zero.
Do they have a open chat for that, or is it?
I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't think so. I don't think so, but I could be
We're gonna
wrong.
have to bring her into the 21st century and have her live chat as well, because I'll be in there cracking.
I mean, I don't pay attention to that guy there.
Right.
He's just a weirdo, I know.
Right. Yeah. Warner, don't let that guy in.
Yeah.
But
I'm also
yeah,
hoping that I hope that sometime this year I'll be able to make another trip out to California. Haven't been out there for a long time to see my friends in Zero.
Yeah.
Zero is the group I've been. They made me an honorary member for a long time, even though I wasn't in California. And now I am actually, I think, a member in the. I join their out of town. They do a once a month out of town Zoom meeting, and I always join in on that. And
yeah.
I moderate the admin the Zero Facebook experiencer page, support page. It's a private page for people who've had these experiences where they can come and talk freely without judgment of their experience. Nobody judges anybody there. Talk about whatever you want to talk about. And even if I can't relate to it, I'm there to listen.
Yeah.
And so I do things like that in the background. I've been doing background shit for years, plus my paranormal stuff that I love and writing a little bit. But, I'm starting to get back out there in the world now a little bit more. And because like I said, I feel like if I go out and talk about my experiences, I'm to the age now where I really don't give a shit what people think about me.
Right.
My kids are grown and they're adults and they can choose whatever they want or not want to talk about. And,
I feel
the
that.
people that mean something to me that I care about what they think, they know me and I know, and they've been there, they've seen this shit. So
Yeah.
the rest of the world, if you need to think I'm crazy to be able to live with this, that's okay. I understand. No problem. You do what you need to do. But I'm not going to shut up. And I got news for you. There are like millions of people out there like me. So, and you're going to meet them, hopefully more. Like I said, I may not have all the answers for folks a lot of times, but if I, I feel like even the tiniest seed that I plant with somebody can help. A tiny seed can grow a sequoia. A sequoia comes from a little bitty seed. So if I do one thing or say one thing that helps one person in the world, then I did good and I did what I came here to do. So, woo. So that's, and I'm getting to do more of that now. So I'm excited about that. And I hope everybody will hang out with me.
Yeah, that is cool. And I'm excited to see January 8th. And
yes,
if you guys have
the whole thing.
Yeah, if you guys have Disney Plus, you can watch Nat Geo on Disney Plus. You'll be able to see that. And the Hulu bundle as well. So you'll be able to check that out. So I'll, definitely be watching that. We'll do a show about it too. And talk about that. For me, let's see, we've got an investigation the Saturday after Christmas, which is going to be an interesting one. It's a child in need. So the EPRT team has deployed on that, the Emergency Paranormal Response Team. We'll be starting a new podcast as well on Saturdays. I think this Saturday we're going to hammer out all the details. And I think you gave me your frog.
Just jumped through my mic.
Right. It's going to involve Billy Skinner with he's the founder and lead investigator for BIPS, Boonville, Indiana Paranormal Society. and he and I are going to do a podcast on Saturdays, and it's going to be on the BIPS YouTube page and Facebook group page. So it's going to be interesting. Working on getting us out to Iowa for the Villisca Axe Murder House. So it'll be in the summertime, but I'm thinking July. So we'll have to get things together and get you over there as well and check it out, because that's the bucket list, you know what I mean? As far as anything else, we're just doing shows and getting our investigating team built up. So it's pretty busy and pretty cool. So
my buddy Forrest might be interested in going to the Villisca house with us too.
Who that?
Forrest Crawford.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I've talked to him a couple of times, and he said he said that he really wants to go on an investigation with us sometime.
Nice.
He's got all the good toys, so
yeah,
we can play with him. But also, I don't know. He doesn't live that far away from you, but there might be some changing of jobs that make
north
you
of St. Louis.
I don't know. I haven't talked to him for a while, so. He lives in like Collinsville or St. Louis, somewhere down in that area there. He used to live in Collinsville. I think he lives in St. Louis now. Yeah, but so he doesn't live very far from you.
Maybe an hour.
Yeah.
An hour and a half away.
And I think he would really love to go with us to the Villisca house. So he'll pay his way. He'll be more and more person pay his way too. So
it's a flat fee for getting into the Villisca house, but to do an on-site overnight investigation, you have to rent out the entire place. I think the grand total came out to about $1,200, which is not that crazy for a house of that reputation.
Well, and if you get enough people to go and split it.
Right. Yeah.
So,
and right now I know for sure we have 10.
And is that your dog?
That's my kitty.
Oh, okay. I heard something in here. I thought it was in here. I guess I must just have damn good speakers on my computer.
No, that's my little shithead. She's adorable, but she is full of piss and vinegar. Here, come here. The people want to see you. There she is.
Looks just like my Skeeter that I had that passed away last year.
Yeah.
Remember Skeeter?
Yeah, I do. She's a menace. I'm telling you. But
Is she the one that bit the light cord?
Yes.
Well, she's probably like Spider-Man now. She's got superpowers.
Let's hope. We can market that. But I mean, there's a lot of cool things that are going to be going on, and the Villisca house is just the EVPs that I've heard from there. We did a show, I think I talked about this last week, with Brandon Alvis, who is Ghost Hunters International, who is with APRA paranormal team out of California at the time. He moved down to Louisville or in that area. So he's down there now, but he's got his own production company and doing the paranormal show, producing it and whatnot. But he had me play some of his EVPs from Villisca, and it was just
really
probably some of the best EVPs that I had heard at the time. It's nothing to the Hello Everybody and Gurgles and I Like Pickles, and
I mean, we get some good ones
stuff now. If you guys like watching like the Spirit Box sessions and whatnot, there is a guy, he was with Ghost Brothers. His name is Dalen Spratt. He's on YouTube, but he was, he goes to different cemeteries and does Spirit Box sessions. And he comes up with some pretty good evidence, and it's live. Well, not live. He does lives, but he records live and then posts it like everyone does for YouTube, but it's not, I guess what I'm saying, it's not doctored. What you're hearing is what you're hearing. And I thought that was pretty interesting because of some of the places, like he went and talked to Debbie Reynolds and Carrie Fisher and visited their graves and did a spirit box session. Who's the Rolling with My Homies girl?
What?
Who's the Rolling with My Homies girl? What was her name?
Brittany,
Murphy.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
you're welcome.
He did a voice box session there, and she's buried next to her husband, who at the time there was speculation that he drugged her and she OD'd from what he gave her. And there's a back and forth going on there. The dynamic of that whole EVP session was kind of weird. It was kind of spooky. But he has some really cool things. So if you guys go check him out, Dalen Spratt on YouTube, or look up Ghost Brothers and you'll see who I'm talking about. If you know, you know. But I thought that was pretty interesting. He has some pretty compelling evidence that he posts up. But yeah, EVPs.
I love him. I live for him.
Just
I don't know why.
I don't either. It's
I feel like
it's more satisfying than video and
yeah.
still frames for me.
And I don't think that a lot of the EVPs that I get are from dead people, honestly. Because I feel like a lot of my my quote unquote UFO or extraterrestrial experiences were more interdimensional in a way. Even the June 30 '83 one, while there was a physical aspect to it for sure, with the mark in the yard, the damage that happened with my eyes, the dog, the other witnesses, mom there, like that craft, we've called it a craft for 40 years.
Yeah.
In retrospect, there's no way in hell 6 little kids could get in that thing and fly anywhere. So I don't know what its purpose was, but I suspect that it was more of some kind of like portal thing or something, or one of those deals where I've heard over the years, many, many times, I've heard people who've described their experiences saying that they saw this UFO, they went in this UFO, whatever it was. But then when they went into it, it was like gigantic, in size, like a city size, or like 2 football fields or something in this little craft. So there's some kind of weird distortion with time and space. I just feel like they're yeah, that's possible. I've never heard that term before. Well, I'll tell you, I just feel like that a lot of my UFO quote unquote experiences have been not necessarily what they appeared on the surface to be. And same thing goes with the paranormal stuff that I've done, the investigations or the research or whatever you want to call it that I've done, mostly for myself, Right, yeah. But I don't think that some of the EVPs that I've captured have been dead people. Honestly, I don't think they ever lived here, and I don't think they're dead. I think they're somewhere else. I always go back to that John guy. I can never remember his last name, but his daughter was a guest on one of our old shows many, many years ago.
Oh, John, you're talking about it's Marcus Leader.
Marcus Leader, that's it.
Yeah,
the EVPs that man has, absolutely. I mean, I'm obsessed with them, especially the ones that where he had real time conversation back and forth with somebody somewhere else. And I'll never forget hearing that voice say, "So John, how is it over there on that side?" And
Marcus?
I remember, "So Marcus, how is it? How is it over there on that side?"
Yeah.
And then it makes me remember the very, very first EVP I ever captured myself, like 30 years ago. And it was this is before the internet and all that stuff. So, I mean, I was reading it in books and whatnot. This voice says, my nephew and I were in the kitchen of my house on Washington Street in Indianapolis on a nice, calm, quiet, breezy summer afternoon. I think it was a Sunday, maybe. Kitchen window was open, but you couldn't, there was no noise coming from outside. And I had one of those cassette tape players with the little cassette tape, 30 minutes on each side.
Yeah.
And we didn't even have an external mic, just using the mic on the tape player. And we sat in the kitchen and we recorded. We sit there and looked at each other and we're dead silent for 30 minutes, flipped the tape over and did the same thing on the other side. And then we proceeded to listen. We proceeded to play back and listen what we recorded, which was a whole lot of nothing, except one old man's voice came through clear as day, as if he was sitting next to me, just like the Gurgles lady. Okay. And he said, "Are the spirits listening?" And right after him, another farther away sounding voice that sounded more like a child said, "Can I listen too?" And my nephew and I looked at each other. Our mouths hit the ground. Neither one of us could even speak. And then finally, I managed to say, "Holy shit, we're the ghosts somewhere. Somebody's trying to hear us.
Yeah.
We're the ghosts." And I had my epiphany. And at that moment, my brain went, and it's never been right since. And I was hooked.
I don't know. I think that's definitely a possibility, but I think a lot of the EVPs that I've had from just investigations, it was something that it was spirit. It wasn't like interdimensional. And I think that might be on a level of experience where your experience in everything has differed from mine. And I think that our perception gives us, I don't know, different results while we do that. I don't know.
I feel like intention is part of the experience that you're going to have. You know what I mean? That you bring that with whatever your intention is and whatever attitude that you bring into an investigation is what you're going to get. I mean,
well, just like at Rhodes, though, we've had multiple visits upon multiple experiences while we were there, but it's always been like maybe the last the couple of times that we were there, it's always been the same voices. It's always been the same type.
The same damn cat.
Yeah, the cat. I mean, we've seen the cat multiple times while we were there
and heard him.
Yeah. So I don't know.
One investigation we did in Kokomo, the private home that we did when her grandmother had recently passed, and we got the voice with her name, which was a unique name, one that you don't hear often. And when we did the reveal to her, of what we had caught, and she heard it immediately out of her mouth, was, "Oh my God, that's my grandma's voice."
Right.
So yeah, some of them are definitely, spirit energy that's still around for whatever reason, or imprinted on this space and time for whatever reason, but not all of them.
Yeah. And that's the question too. I mean, is it a percentage that are spirit and a percentage that is across the veil in a separate dimension? Is it?
Because I fully believe that there's shit going on around us right now. I mean, there's stuff going on in this room with me right now that I can't see because my brain isn't wired to be able to see it. That don't mean it's not there. I got Wi-Fi signals and television signals and radio signals and all kinds of stuff going through my body right now, but I'm not aware of it because I'm not made to receive it. So I can't perceive it, but my TV does. My computer picks up my Wi-Fi. My phone picks up my Wi-Fi, my Bluetooth. Our brains are only wired in a certain way, but that doesn't mean there isn't all kinds of shit all around us right now.
All the time, yeah.
How
many times have we told people?
Michio Kaku when he said there's a dinosaur in your room right now. And I'm like, I freaking get that. I understand. Oh my God. Where you go?
I dropped something. I had to get it before the stupid cat ate it.
So yeah, and I think that my experiences, whatever experiences I had early as a child, younger,
Mhm.
changed the wiring in my head. I'm not any better or any different than anyone else. The stuff has always been there. It's there in you, it's there in everybody, but something has to solder those two wires together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
Well,
even if it was inadvertent side effect of the contact that I had, or if it was intentional in order to facilitate communication. I don't know, but something changed in my brain, and it ain't been right since. I guess I don't know.
Right.
It ain't been right since.
How many times have we told
connections.
people? Yeah, how many times have we told people on investigations that, I mean, you can pull an EVP from anywhere though, at any
It don't
given
have
time.
to be at 2 a.m.
No.
You can get. I used to get EVPs at the factory that I worked at.
Yeah.
When I get bored and I got all my work done and I couldn't clock out yet, I would go down to the basement at the factory where they stored all the old shit, and I would put I'd use my telephone to record. I got EVPs in the factory at work,
Right.
So you can get them anywhere, anytime, any place. They're there. They're all around.
That's true.
I do that every time I get a new car or I get new something or other. It's like if I buy something new, then I see I notice the commercials on TV more for what I got. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, all right. So we're coming on about an hour and a half of our show tonight.
It's been fun.
It has been fun. For you guys that are on YouTube page, remember, hit that subscribe and the bell notifications and thumbs up on the video. We've got I think there's 113 videos out there on the YouTube page now.
Of ours?
Keep in mind of ours, yeah.
I'm
of us sitting here just battling talking shit. Yeah. Also keep in mind, you guys go over to, if you're not already, the Boonville, Indiana Paranormal Society Facebook page. Like on there. We'll be going live with the podcast with Bips on Saturdays, and they'll be posted up to their YouTube page as well. Keep an eye out for Deb's Adventures coming up in June or January. And
also come see my Facebook page, or not my my website, which has been there for like 20 some years, www.debshome.com. We update it with news about the drones. What in the hell are you laughing at, fool?
No one knows www anymore.
Oh, I'm old, so I'm sorry.
Debshome.com. Yeah, definitely go check it out. You can also get her books there on her homepage, debshome.com, and help support the cause on that. You won't be disappointed. Go check her books out. What else that we can look at? Go over to Midwest Prayer Talk Radio on Facebook. Join the group if you're not already a member there. I post up stupid little ghostly things here and there and information. We have the shirt shop, we have the shirt shop up on the webpage as well. You can go over to gmonkeyapparel.com and pick you up a shirt or a shirt. So yeah. Also keep an eye out a week from Saturday. Bips will be going live with the investigation, and you guys can watch and help us monitor the DVR cameras.
I'll be there lurking in the chat, stalking and harassing all of you.
Come on now.
Come on now.
But yeah, so if you guys have any comments or questions, concerns, you can put them down in the comment section.
And let me tell you, if you have an experience that you want to share with us and you'd like to come on the show and share it with everybody, hit us up, let us know. We'd be happy to have you. We'd love
For
to
sure.
hear your thoughts and your experiences.
Or even if you have anything that you want to promote. You got
Yeah.
a book coming out, you got a new website, you got a new ghost team, you got a new ufology team. Hell, if you want to talk Bigfoot, we'll do that shit too.
Hell yeah, we love it all.
We love it all.
It's the spice of life,
Is that what we call it?
I guess. Or just spice. I don't know. Isn't that the stuff
Right,
that makes
right.
you eat faces?
No, that gets you gurgles.
We're stupid. Don't pay attention to us.
All right, you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us this Thursday night. Remember, you guys have a Merry Christmas next week. I think we'll be back Thursday night. What do you think?
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a plan to me too. So, like Deb said, if you have any comments, concerns, or you want to come on the show and talk about anything, we can do that because we own it. We own this joint. You can hit me up, gcable at midwestparatalkradio.com or debcobble@gmail.com, and shoot us any questions, comments, concerns. And if you, like I said, if you want to come on the show and just BS with us, we can do that too. So thank you guys. We'll see you next week. Merry Christmas.
Bye. Merry Christmas.